don't know who that
Can
person is.
I at least just say a quote of what she said about you?
I wouldn't even be interested.
So don't say it?
I'm not going to tell you what to say. It doesn't interest me at all.
Okay.
DL Hughley, a well-known figure in the comedy scene, has experienced both fame and popularity throughout his career. However, he is currently facing criticism and controversy. Recent issues include accusations of and conflicts within his own community, marking a challenging period for the comedian. Shortly after ABC's hit series Scandal announced Columbus Short's dismissal, comedian DL Hughley found himself in a controversy for comments about Short's ongoing marital issues with the strange wife, Tanny McCall Short. On a recent segment of his Radio 1 show, The DL Hughley Show, the entertainer raised doubts about the legitimacy of Short's misdemeanor spousal battery charge. This charge alleged that the actor had reportedly choked his wife while she was sleeping. Quote, the star of one of the hottest dramas in the country chokes the F out of his wife? That doesn't ever happen. I don't think it happened first off. Like the time Warren Sapp was getting ready to do the Super Bowl and some broad said that he R'd her. There are just as many examples of women lying on men in the middle of divorce proceedings to get what they want as there are men who actually do anything. My point is if he did what she's alleging he did, she could still get all that she's going to have and not bring it up now when it damages his market value that she's going to be impacted by. If he loses that job, nobody's living in Calabasas anymore. I guarantee you 3 years from now she's going to be thinking, damn, I should have shut the F up. Women always running out the mouth when they shouldn't. This bee was thirsty, the bee was thirsty. What, she gone go back to dancing? She gone F her money up? End quote. The controversial audio clip, now removed from the show's hosting site, has triggered a wave of criticism leading to a Change.org petition demanding that DL Hughley publicly apologize for allegedly, quote, endangering the lives of black women who may be victims of domestic violence by encouraging them to remain silent.
This is what DL Hughley posted over on his Instagram account. I don't care if your man is selling hot dogs. You're supposed to be right beside him asking, do they want ketchup?
In response to the backlash, Hughley addressed the issue on his show, expressing regret for his previous comments. He acknowledged his mistake in making assumptions about Columbus Short's marital situation without knowing all the facts. Hughley apologized for putting his mouth on Tanny McCall Short, Columbus Short's wife, and admitted that he had underestimated the severity of the situation. He clarified that he did not condone violence, emphasizing that he has never physically abused anyone except perhaps in the case of deserving men. Hughley recognized the impact of his words, acknowledging that his comments may have come across as silencing victims. He stressed that he is not in the habit of apologizing for things he doesn't mean. But in this instance, he genuinely regretted his remarks and apologized for any genuine harm caused. He clarified his stance on not encouraging women to be silent about abuse and emphasized the importance of speaking out against such incidents.
Before there were People magazine, before there was Sports Illustrated, before there were magazines telling you who you were, glamour, you were the standard of beauty. You already were the standard of beauty.
Well, this is not the first time he has been harsh towards women. DL Hughley, known for his unfiltered opinions, isn't shy about the controversy his words sometimes stir. While expressing genuine regret when people misinterpret his statements, he remains unapologetic for views that diverge from the mainstream. In an interview with Essence while promoting his upcoming TV One show, Hughley addressed past comments, including remarks from a 2012 interview where he mentioned that he's, quote, never met a group of people angrier than black women, end quote.
DL Hughley believes that he has never met an angrier group of people.
Oh, for Christ's sake, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, we talk about celebrities trying to get attention and stuff.
Hughley clarified his stance, likening black women to, quote, spicy food, jokingly saying, quote, I love you, but it hurts in the morning. When directly questioned about whether he truly believes black women are, quote, angry, he provided a more nuanced response. He argued that the issue is not about being angry, but understanding the reasons behind that anger. Quoting James Baldwin, he noted that being black and conscious often entails a constant state of anger, emphasizing that it's not wrong to be angry, but wrong not to know why. Quote, to be black and conscious is to be angry all the time. It's not wrong to be angry, it's wrong to not know why. Hughley continued, quote, aren't you angry when your sons are getting shot in the street? Aren't you angry when you're maligned? Aren't you angry when you have to protect us more than we step up for you? So why would you be mad when someone said that you were angry? What you're mad about is that people don't explain why, end quote. Hughley elaborated by pointing to what he sees as the reasons for black women's anger. As he put it, the challenges faced by their sons, systemic issues, and the need for protection. He challenged the notion that expressing anger is inherent inherently negative and emphasized the importance of understanding the underlying causes. Hughley concluded by suggesting that people may be upset not because they are labeled as angry, but because the reasons behind that anger are not adequately explained. Hughley expressed his love for black women, acknowledging that he may not always fully understand them, but appreciates their strengths and unique qualities. Despite occasional controversies, he stands by his admiration for the resilience and character of black women, valuing their authenticity and emotional expressions.
You were the standard of beauty. You already were the standard of beauty. Before they had things to make you beautiful, people looked at you and you were the standard of beauty.
In a recent exchange with Terry Cruz, where Hughley questioned why Cruz didn't physically confront someone who had assaulted him, tensions arose. Hughley, addressing the incident at a TV One press event, mentioned his desire to have Cruz as the first guest on his upcoming late-night talk show, The D.L. Hughley Show. Hughley clarified that his intent was to ask questions about Cruz's perspective and emphasize the importance of individual perspectives in such discussions. While Hughley noted that he wasn't blaming Cruz for the assault, he highlighted a broader concern about public attention and care, urging for consistency. He argued for the need to focus on cases of violence against black men, not just in instances of assault, but also in cases of police brutality. Hughley stressed the importance of maintaining a level of consistency and caring about the well-being of all individuals, regardless of the circumstances. Expanding on his jabs at women, he has also a well-known beef with Monique. Monique, recently brought on board by 50 Cent for his BMF drama series, took center stage in Detroit for a stand-up performance, where she openly discussed her role as the headliner. According to USA Today, Monique revealed that she had signed a contract for the show, but D.L. Hughley declined to perform because she was headlining.
When they called me to come play Detroit and come play the Fox Theater, I was so goddamn excited.
During her opening act, Monique passionately addressed the audience, expressing the challenges she faced to be there that night. The Oscar winner didn't shy away from discussing her history with Hughley and even suggested that his moniker, DL, might allude to him being on the down low. She said, quote, "Y'all don't understand the fight I had to go through to stand in front of y'all tonight." Hughley, who is also pretty vocal, responded on Instagram, quote, "All you have to do is check the order of names on the ticket stub from last night and you'll see who's confused. Against my better judgment, over the objections of my team and 4 other occasions where I said no, I decided to take a chance and work with Monique. Oprah was the problem, Tyler Perry was the problem, Charlemagne was the problem, Steve Harvey was the problem, Lee Daniels was the problem, Netflix was the problem. Now it's my turn. At some point it can't be everyone else, it's you." Lesson learned, I didn't have anything personal against Monique. People paid a lot of money to laugh, not hear about your contract. Apparently the role you played in Precious turned out to be an autobiography. I wonder who's next. This instigated a response from Monique on Instagram. Quote, "The fact that you point the people to the ticket stubs for the order of the names versus to your contract implies that you don't have a contract that shows you are the headliner, like I do. Either show your contract or be quiet. Stop messing with people who have never messed with you and who once considered you a comrade in comedy. But I thank you, DL, because you're the reason why I fight for my people like I do. Anytime you opened for the Kings of Comedy and I was the headliner for the Queens of Comedy and you think you should close the show over me is a prime example of the bias that black women have to deal with in this business. I won't even discuss awards. I love us for real." Hughley reiterated his status as the headliner by showing his contract to his followers. "After this, I don't want to hear no more about this. Here it is in black and white. The only thing blacked out is personal and bank info. Pay attention to headliner, highest paid artist on show, artist to have approval of lineup of the show, D.L. Hughley, closing. Receipts are greater than opinions. I got everything that was stated in my contract, everything. But let's say I didn't, my beef wouldn't be with anyone but the promoter and/or my team. And I damn sure wouldn't make it personal. If you have a problem, take it up with management, and by that I mean yours." Monique responded in another Instagram post, quote, "If you notice mine has signatures and DL does not. What type of ironclad agreement doesn't have the signatures of the participants involved?" Hughley didn't hesitate to respond and call the comedian out over the documents she shared, pointing out that the contract she included in her post came from her own company. Quote, "Hicks Media Incorporated? Hold up, that's you. You really showing everyone a contract you submitted from your own company. I smell BS," he wrote. "Sounds to me like your problem is with Hicks Media Incorporated." D.L. Hughley has responded to the ongoing public contract dispute with Monique, addressing the recent mention of his daughter's S trauma in a 5-minute video shared on Instagram. Instagram. Hughley emphasized that this marked the final straw and the last breath he would waste on the feud. The video was prompted by Monique and her husband sharing footage from an interview where Hughley discussed his initial reaction to his daughter's alleged assault. In the video, Hughley expressed his frustration, stating, quote, "I know I said that I had done all I could here about this whole Monique situation, but over the weekend, her and her husband released a video where I was doing an interview and I detailed my daughter's trauma. Monique has taken that video and perverted it for her own uses. She's decided to add her own narrative." DL Hughley refutes Monique's comments about his daughter's trauma, stating that, quote, "Nothing could be further from the truth." Hughley also openly acknowledged his own mistakes in his initial response to his daughter's report of the alleged assault, expressing deep regret and stating that he will never forgive himself for not immediately believing her and for mishandling the situation.
How I let a man touch my child, which nothing could be further from the truth. They were both 13 years old. They were friends. They had grown up together.
Hughley characterized the inclusion of his daughter's trauma in the ongoing feud as unconscionable, emphasizing that the dispute originated from contract-related claims surrounding a stand-up show in Detroit. He went on to bring up Monique's Oscar-winning performance in the 2009 drama Precious, criticizing her and her husband for what he perceives as weaponizing his daughter's trauma. In his candid response, Hughley accused Monique of crossing a moral line, stating, quote, "You are a monster. You literally are. You didn't play Precious Mother, you let her out. You stopped pretending to be human and you won. An Oscar for being exactly who you are. Who says they love women and are there for women, and would trot out someone's trauma just to use it in an argument?" Hughley asserted that he was speaking out at the request of his daughter. Initially, Monique has not directly responded to DL Hughley's latest comments. However, she did share another clip of Hughley on Instagram. This time, the clip was from a Jay Leno interview in which Hughley joked about the 2007 Don Imus controversy. Then, Steve Harvey offered his perspective on the contract-centered feud, suggesting a possible reason for the initial dispute. According to Harvey, it's conceivable that someone on Monique's management team may have provided her with incorrect information, leading her to believe that the show was meant to be a co-headlining one. During a Steve Harvey morning show discussion, he and his panel broached the topic after playing a clip of comments Monique made about Hughley and Harvey at the dispute-spurring show in question. Quote, "Let me just open by saying I could care less than about what you think about me because clearly I'm not your problem. And you know what? Anyone who knows me, who really knows me, can't even make that statement." Steve Harvey later reflected on what he believes is the primary mission of all stand-up shows: entertainment. He theorized about what may have transpired in this particular instance, leading to confusion over each performer's headlining status. According to Harvey, Monique's management might have provided her with incorrect information, telling her that it was a co-headlining gig. Harvey suggested, quote, "Her management, whoever he is, simply stated, 'I got this gig, you co-headline.' I promise you that's what was told. And that was incorrect information because DL put that contract online. He was 100% headlining. Co-headlining affects the money. If you're co-headlining, you're gonna get the same cash." Harvey emphasized that despite any backstage agreements, the audience would not have been aware of the dispute during the show. Monique and Hughley have both shared paperwork related to the May 28th show in Detroit on social media since then. The dispute between Monique and DL Hughley has extended over several days, with both comedians making remarks on various platforms. Hughley posted comments on YouTube while Monique shared an hour-long video on Instagram. The video addresses a false narrative presented by Hughley about Monique's stand-up career, and also mentions Steve Harvey. Monique vehemently refuted claims that she has stopped being a stand-up comedian, asserting, quote, "I've never stopped being a stand-up comedian, baby. I've been out there on that road doing my thing the whole time, so stop trying to put a false narrative out there." That's Steve Harvey's big word. Stop trying to put a false narrative out there. She further disputed Hughley's assertions about the audience's reaction on the night in question. According to Monique, the audience gave her standing ovations both upon entering and exiting the stage. She concluded by stating, quote, "Just your night was bad, DL Hughley," and added that Hughley did not meet the challenge of that particular audience. After that, Monique has chosen to retract certain remarks she previously made regarding fellow comedian DL Hughley and his family. During her stand-up comedy show in Raleigh, North Carolina, the actress offered a public apology to Hughley's family, acknowledging her commitment to rectifying any harm caused. Quote, "I value my integrity, and when I make a public mistake, I believe in addressing it publicly," she expressed to the audience, "so right now I need to set things right. To DL Hughley's family, I want to extend a public apology if my words have caused any pain. It was never my intention to hurt their family, and I sincerely apologize to his wife and children if I've hurt their feelings. My intentions were never to cause harm. Now, as for DL, I stand by everything I originally said. Hughley also had a fight with Ice Cube. When news of rapper Ice Cube working with Donald Trump was released, some did not think fondly of Ice Cube's move, including DL Hughley. On the DL Hughley show, DL Hughley vocalized his opinions blasting the former rapper. Quote, "It's a fantasy to believe you can get this administration to do anything. You've seen black person after black person after black person ruin themselves under the altar of Trump with nothing in return, and Ice Cube is the latest one." Hughley's show also tweeted an article entitled, quote, "Ice Cube isn't winning at chess, he's losing at poker." To which Ice Cube responded with a middle finger emoji. Now fans have also concluded that his behavior with the fellows is the reason why he is hated by them. One of them wrote, quote, "When you're doing a business, you can't just talk with one person, you have to talk with both parties, and Ice Cube, as Judge Joe Brown said, he's a man expressing his free speech, which he has all rights to." Another one added, quote, "I like DL's opinions, but that is what they are, his opinions. I wish to God we as a people would learn stuff for ourselves and research and become powerful in our minds and then execute that power in life. To hate on Ice Cube is counterproductive and in some regards shows fear. A degree means nothing without the wisdom to know how to apply that knowledge you have obtained. The best way to defeat your enemy is to know his strategy." One more person wrote, quote, "DL is one of those people who thinks being hateful and derogatory is funny. It's not cool. And if us black women are angry with him, it's warranted." The reactions from fans are not unfounded. Hughley's history is marked by conflicts with fellow black artists, and his treatment of women is well known to them. According to their perspective, individuals with such behavior typically have a short-lived career in the industry.